It finishes 2-2 between Brighton and Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp says it was a fair result. I'm not sure Roberto De Zerbi agrees. Who are you with, Robbo?
I thought De Zerbi's team played really well for most of the first half. They certainly dominated the play. They caused Liverpool all sorts of problems, the way they were playing, the way they were getting into wide areas, how they were breaking the lines of Liverpool. But if you're a team that play out from the back and you take risks, you're going to cause yourselves problems. And that's what happened with both sides into a certain degree. The first goal,
what you guys were saying before about chemistry, settled team, good defenders, blah, blah, blah. De Zerbi changes like 6 or 7 guys every game. I mean, these dudes, Baleba, the guy who scored the goal as well.
Yeah.
Well, and yet they still do it, and they still get results.
Yeah. Because there must be something in the philosophy. They must all work together. They must train in their patterns of play because they do the same thing. It doesn't matter who's playing. They do the same sort of style of football. Yes, they take risks, and there's going to be games where they're counter-attack too easy. They make mistakes at the back, Brighton. But in general, they're a great side to watch at the moment.
I didn't think Liverpool played that badly.
No, they didn't play badly. No.
I can see where De Zerbi's coming from. But the goal, Andy Robertson got slaughtered for it. Can you just explain the dynamic of going with your wrong foot?
Yeah.
Like, why put him there if you know he's not going to play the ball with his weaker foot to clear it?
Yeah. Sometimes, it's a difficult situation. Sometimes you go with your wrong foot. Sometimes you have to go with your right one. It all happens in a very, very short space of time, and you have to make the right decision. When you make the right clearance or you get the ball away, everyone knows, that's great. But if you do the wrong thing,
you look silly.
Yeah, you look silly.
I didn't expect we'd see a Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans partnership for Manchester United in 23-24, but Robbo, that happened. And just as the wheels were coming off and they were a goal down in injury time, Scott McTominay scores twice to give Erik ten Hag his first league win at Old Trafford since August. That happened too.
Yeah, and he needed it. You know, I've done a couple of Manchester United games recently. Did the Galatasaray game where they played some quite decent football. What I'm seeing with Manchester United at the moment, we've been talking about systems of play, whatever. Manchester United at the moment, and they're not playing particularly well, they rotate all over the pitch so much. You know, Bruno Fernandes has played on the right, then he goes into the centre, and then the centre player goes out to the right-hand side. They've had Amrabat, he wasn't at the weekend, playing at left-back, and then goes into central midfield, and then goes and plays a sweeper, and everybody has to rotate around those sort of things. That's okay when you're doing really well, and you're winning games comfortably, and you're just trying to add some icing onto the cake. At the moment, Manchester United need to get back to the basics and get some sort of formation, some sort of style of play, some sort of patterns of play where they can dominate games and win games, and then they can elaborate on their style when they're doing well. You can't do that when confidence is low and you're not playing particularly well. And McTominay got them out of trouble. There's no question about that.
I'll say this, I've seen celebration at the end. Every indication I have is the players, rightly or wrongly, still have trust in Ten Hag, or at least trust in each other. Like, I don't think the spirit's gone bad in the club.
No, I don't think. I think you're absolutely right.
Tottenham Hotspur play the second half of the game with 10 men and still beat Luton 1-0. Robbo, they sit atop the Premier League alongside Arsenal. What did you learn?
Well, the first...
Luton are not good, yeah?
Yeah, Luton aren't very good. Okay. But the first 20, 30 minutes, I really enjoyed watching Tottenham play. They played some great free-flowing football. They created chances. They didn't take their chances. Kulusevski was excellent out on that right-hand side. You know, Richarlison looked to be somewhere near his best. Maddison was running the game. And when they went down to 10 men, they showed a bit of spirit. Luton had a couple of chances. And, of course, they scored their goal when they were down to 10 men, Spurs. So, it's a decent performance, and I think they're going places at the moment.
Top of the league, baby. Back to Spurs, Yves Bissouma was sent off after getting a second yellow for diving. Robbo, getting second yellows for diving, I think, is incredibly stupid. Doing it when you're outside the box at the end of the half, I don't understand this at all.
No. And if you're going to
dive, make sure it's inside the box.
Or make sure that you make some sort of contact with the player that you're pretending has fouled you. It was a silly thing to do. You know, you got a yellow card, and it could have cost Spurs 3 points. But in the end, they got the victory. But I'm sure the manager, your mate Ange Postecoglou, will be having a word with him.
Big Ange to you.
Big Ange to me, yes.
Don't look now, but it's 3 wins in a row for Chelsea as they beat Burnley 4-1. Robbo, are you seeing signs that Poch is getting a handle on this team?
Yes. I think they are playing with more confidence now. It helps that they've got... Sterling playing somewhere near his very best. He was outstanding against Burnley, making forward runs, going into wide areas. Jackson linking up the play quite well. They're quite dominant in midfield. Enzo
Moises
Fernandes.
Caicedo showed up.
Yes, he was playing deeper, and Fernandes was trying to play that little bit further forward, which I
don't
thought
like.
worked quite well. I think Cucurella was playing at right back was always going to be difficult, but in the end they got a good result, and Poch is getting the best out of the players at the moment.
A late Thomas Soucek goal gives West Ham a 2-2 draw with Newcastle, Robbo. For all the tune talk after the win over Paris Saint-Germain, your old club are now ahead of them in the table.
Yeah,
Bit fortunate.
Bit fortunate. There's I know a lot of West Ham supporters. There's a lot that are very happy with the way they're playing and David Moyes and the results they're getting. I know a lot of other supporters that are a little bit unhappy with their style of play, particularly away from home when they just leave Antonio up front and try and play on the counter-attack. It's worked for them on certain occasions. But some of their counter-attacking players are playing well at the moment. Paqueta's playing much better than he did in his first season. Bowen is back to where he was maybe a couple of years ago, coming in off that right-hand side.
Nice finish from Kudus.
Nice finish from Kudus, and it was an excellent goal from him. So at the moment, I think West Ham are doing okay. They deserve to be where they are.
I think also Newcastle deserve a little bit of love because I think it can take a lot out of you.
Absolutely.
A performance like that, even if it's successful, because it gives you a lift. Yeah, I know, but it's still. Guys
And a great ball from Trippier for the big diagonal, and he plays it straight back into Isak. That was a great volley.
I thought giving up a goal away from home early in those circumstances, I don't know. I was impressed.
Yeah.